What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Santa1 here, and today we are back at it again with another Transformer figure review, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Mattel 2025 crossover. We're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Hot Wheel crossover for 2025, Deluxe class Boneshaker. Now, this is one of two Hot Wheels that you can get currently on the Transformers crossovers on the market. However, y'all know the rules. We're not going to take a look at this first. We're going to take a look at the packaging, and the packaging is quite nice, I must say. It is a beautiful side of packaging, to say the least. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of homages going on here. First thing here is we've got a space bridge going on in the background here with Boneshaker in both his robot mode and his vehicle mode. And we also have the blue and orange lights, basically signifying the blue and orange track. The blue one was from the early 90s. The orange track came later. And that is a very nice sentiment there. We also have Boneshaker down here, and on the back of the packaging, we have Boneshaker in his robot mode, his vehicle mode, 2025, and this is a Mattel crossover with Hasbro, so you can get this at either Target or Walmart, whichever one you choose. So, yeah. Coming into the figure at hand, here we have Boneshaker, and I gotta say, this was the one that I was gonna pick up first. It was for sure the one that I was gonna pick up first. I love classic hot rods. I love them. I just do. So this one was definitely one that I had to acquire. There was no question in my mind. This one was one that I was going to get. So there is something though that was a little bit of a gaslight with fans here. Now, we all assumed that Boneshaker of the two was going to be the bad guy, that he was going to be a Decepticon. Well, Hasbro, you sneaky bastards, they got us. He is, in fact, an Autobot. I didn't know this. Did not know this in the slightest. However, the weapon is the gear stick that comes out of the cab, like every one of these models in real life. So, yes, this is a real thing. So, anyways, and that's pretty much how that all goes. So let's get him into his comparisons, then we shall transform him, and we shall then proceed with the video. So here he is with the previous crossover we did. Here he is with Blue Booster. Here he is with Wingtail. My Wingtail's got a little bit of a problem. Here he is with Gigawatt. I am going to be getting the reissue of this guy, so we will be going over that. Here he is next to Party Wallop. Definitely the chunkiest out of all of them. Here he is next to Agent Knight. And finally, here he is next to Ectotron. Give me just a second. I can put him properly in his side. Alright. Now, let's get this guy into his robot mode. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this. You don't have to keep it in there all the time, but that's where I personally am going to be keeping it for now. So, and take that, move it off to the side. Now, you're going to come into this section here, and you're going to just close this up just a smidge. Not doing it all the way, but you're doing that just to open it up a bit. Then you're going to come to this section. You're going to untab this, swing this down, do the same thing on this end here. And then we are going to, let's work on the back here. We're going to take this whole section here, we're going to split it, and we're going to then extend all of this down. We're going to push this forward, push this all the way in, take this, kind of close it, and after that you're going to fold the seats all the way back around like this, and they become the heel spur. Take this, push it all the way forward, and then collapse it up, and there you got a foot and a leg all done. So do the same thing on the other side. Take this, push it forward, push that forward, swing this all the way around, and then take this, bring it all the way down, and fold up the toe like so. Again, And there you have the legs all done. And to work on the arms, it is quite simple. You're going to just take this, you're going to swing them all the way out like so. Excuse me while I itch my arm real quick. And then you're going to take this whole chest piece section, and it's going to open up like that. And then it's going to swing all of this down. Once this whole section, it's supposed to swing down. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Give it. Give up. There. Come on. There we go. There we go. Brand new figure. Hasn't been transformed much. So, yes. Take this. Close that back up. Rotate said head all the way around. Making sure that everything is all squared up. Take these pieces, like I said. Bring them back up earlier. I did say that, right? Take these pieces, bring them back up, close up the arm pieces up here, and they're just going to tab right on in there. And then the chest is going to snap together. Make sure all this is perfectly done. Bring this all the way down to the sides. Bring his arms down again. Do the same thing on both ends, and flip out said hands. And then bring in the gear stick club beating of death here. And there you have Boneshaker in his robot mode. And seriously, he gives off Decepticon vibes. Why would you not make him a Decepticon? Just saying. But anyways, I gotta say, I love the transformation. I love the fact that everything works out just so fluently on this thing. I really do. This is a nice crossover. This is definitely a figure that I could get behind and tell everybody this is something that is a worthwhile figure. So seriously, I'm just based off of what's going on right now. There's no paint chip. There's no immediate paint chipping. There's no plastic chipping. There's none of that. This is the first time this thing's been transformed into robot mode because, as we all know, I usually start out in vehicle mode. This came packed in vehicle mode. This is the first time it's ever been transformed, period. There's no plastic on my table. There's nothing. Normally when I have a figure that we don't know anything about, there's usually always plastic on the table. This has been the easiest and fluent transformation I've had in a quick minute. So let's bring him in for a quick look at that head sculpt. And that head sculpt is just beautiful. Like Sound Blaster and Optimus Prime from the Armada universe had a baby, and that's what the face looked like. So yeah. And then on the back here, the backpack is quite minimal, actually. I think they did a very good job. I really do think they did a very good job with this figure. They did a very good job. There's also, I'm just noticing this now, there's some asymmetry going on here in the leg pieces inside these back parts. So it is hollow, but it is hollow in a very good way. There is some asymmetry here. So let's close that back. Let's flip these heel spurs back up. Which, by the way, the seats working as the heel spurs, that works out quite nicely. So, and the whole thing, well, maybe not the whole thing, but the majority of it, the very least you can get some ankle tilting pivot off of this instead of not having to deal with all of this. But, you know, hey, beggars can't be choosers, and at this point I'm not begging. So I will stand with this figure. So, yeah. Now that we've gotten him in robot mode, let's get him into scale comparison, and then we shall rank him. Actually, correction, we shall get into final thoughts, then we shall rank him and end the video. So, here he is with Blue Booster. Here he is with Wingtail. Here he is with Gigawatt. Here he is with Party Wallop. Here he is with Agent Knight. And finally, here he is with Ectotron. All right. So, final thoughts on this guy. I honestly, there's hardly any notes. There's like hardly anything that I've got to say about this. This is just a wonderful, wonderful figure. Seriously, Hasbro, when you design figures like this, it makes it really hard for me to sit there and want to hate you. It really does. Because I definitely love the crossover figures that you guys have been pumping out, but the quality of them has severely been diminished. And by the time you guys got to Wingtail, at the very least, I was very, very disappointed and wasn't sure if I was going to collect the next one. And then this showed up, and I was like, I will hold my reservations till I get it. And I'm glad I did, because holy cow, this thing is wonderful. This might become a slight problem later on, but you can rotate these back if they do decide to become an issue with your figure when you have them, if you have them splayed out like this. They might be prone to chipping if you are known to break out your figures every so often, or you're giving this to your kid nephew. But if you push them all the way back, then it might mitigate the breakage of these pieces here. So just a heads up on that. But other than that, I think this is I think there's only, like I said, there's only one flaw that I can say, and that was the gaslighting portion of this figure, which we all thought he was going to be a Decepticon. Turns out, well, he's an Autobot. So Autobot Boneshaker is definitely a figure I highly would recommend. There's a lot of asymmetry going on this figure, and it's you just got to see it to appreciate it. So, well, maybe not a ton of asymmetry, but there's some asymmetry on this figure, and it just looks badass. So, anyways, this is Thomas Fan 01 giving this figure a ranking of, you know what, combined with that, with the figure and the packaging, I think this figure deserves nothing less than a 9.5 out of 10. And the only reason I give it a 9.5 instead of a 10 out of 10 is simply because these toe pieces do not move either. But then again, it's fine because you've got these hinges that make everything solid, and these could be prone to breaking over time. But other than that, seriously, 9.5 out of 10, I recommend. And take note, this is going to be on one of the more affordable side of the holiday rush this year, so please be aware of that. It is definitely going to be it's going to be a highly sought after figure sometime soon. I apologize for the tripod. We are having issues with it staying stable. I'm going to have to work on that. So, but anyways, this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to check out Jordy's Rail videos, Patrick's Voice Rail, Riveted Rail Fan, Riveted Reviews, Lemon Lime Studios, Kitten Cat 999, iStar 552, Bravely GG, Take Along Productions, and oh, what the hey, we'll throw them out there as well, Truster Tube, so do not forget to check out all of them. And this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.